everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, and next to me I'm joined by the lead singer of Ookla and the Mox, Mike Harrison. Today we're going to be talking about all kinds of great things that he's got on his list, including... This is where you insert the stuff on the list.
I don't like to do a rundown, because then that's I like the surprise.
That's how you get them to stay to the end. You got to save the best thing
They
for
don't
the
stay
end.
to the end.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that thumbs up button so you'll know that every time we upload a new video, you can check it out.
Right.
If you don't have access to that kind of stuff, then, well, you probably found the right place because we're that. So, man, a lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, there has been yet another celebrity passing. Mike, take it away.
Well, George Segal has passed away at the age of 87. Now, you may or may not know that name, but if I showed you his picture, and I will right here, you'll go, oh, that guy.
Mike, our producer, just informed
most recently, he was in the Goldbergs for that
he was the grandpa?
Something like that, yeah. I never watched the show.
I didn't either.
He was on it. I'll tell you where I remember him the most.
Okay.
1977.
1977.
The heyday of me, Mike, plopped in front of our pirated HBO that we had.
Statute of Limitations is probably up on that, folks.
Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox and Roller Coaster. Those things were both on a loop on HBO for what seemed like 10 years, okay? I know that's not true, but I saw each of those movies probably 15 times as a 10-year-old.
Because back then, HBO, I'm going to guess even around here, it didn't come on until like 5 o'clock at night or something like that.
Yes, it was scheduled.
Went off at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And they only had like the 2 to 3 movies, and they would just cycle those 3 movies for
we're talking 10 a.m. to maybe midnight was their thing, and everything else was blue screen with a scrolling menu of what's coming on tomorrow and the next day. Yeah.
Yep.
So watch those, and but he's 120 some acting credits. Geek-wise, I mean, he did some Simpsons, he did some Scooby-Doo, things like that.
Probably did some Simpsons, we don't remember. It's in our sleep.
I did.
And other non-geek news, just because I want to bring it up.
Sure, go ahead.
It might actually affect physical geek goods.
Okay.
A giant ship has turned sideways in the Suez Canal,
Yes.
blocking an entire canal.
Right.
At first, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Right.
All of a sudden, I'm turning on my news, and guys are like freaking out about this is a supply chain that will now screw up everything for weeks. There are ships back. It is like a 1970s disaster movie of planes being rerouted.
If you don't know what the Suez Canal is, you've got North America and you've got South America, and right in between there's a little spot there of land where they said, hey, if we dig a ditch right there.
What are you talking about?
Suez Canal.
That's the Panama Canal, man.
That's the Panama Canal. Where's the Suez Canal?
Well, try Europe, man. Try over towards...
So you've got Europe and you've got Southern Europe. And there's a little strip of land there that if you dig a ditch, you can get a ship through there. Okay? And which allows you quicker access to the Suez Canal, okay? In which you can do canal work.
Either way, a giant ship, if you came to this show looking for geography lessons, the only thing that's really funny about this is Mike prides himself on knowing his stuff, and to hear him completely you're in a wrong, wow.
Are we sure?
Yes,
All right.
I actually am sure for once.
I've never heard of Suez. Where the heck is Suez?
Well, I mean, again, we're gonna head over towards, I believe, Africa, the Middle East, that sort of thing. 'Cause imagine what you just said with North and South America, except take it over to that area. And
like I said,
what are the continents that block that, Mike?
I don't know. In order to get to the Panama Canal, you need access through the Suez Canal.
Well,
so I'm obviously right.
I actually
but
don't,
let's move on to something else you can be right about.
So, if you and we actually, from Diamond Comics, where we get a bunch of our stuff, there's actually a report that says on the water, so we know the physical goods that are coming over from different places that might be delayed and what stuff. So I never check that out because I don't care. It gets here when it gets here. But now I'm like, I'm going to check this out because this might be interesting. So are you really looking it up after that?
I need to know.
Holy cow.
I need to know.
That's not him, by the way.
No. Go ahead with your little show.
That's it. There's a giant ship that's just it went to a semi went sideways and now is blocking all 4 lanes of traffic.
Oh, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Egypt, all that in there. There's a little ditch they dug. Okay.
Where's Egypt at?
So we're in Africa.
Maybe. So let's get back on some geek news. Let's get back to let's get back into your ballpark, my friend. Let's get back there where we belong.
I don't put me on a shelf. I have many things I know about canals. Stephen J. Canal. Okay, right, exactly. Did you watch the Snyder Cut?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, speaking of not getting through the entire thing, there's some analytics coming out now that 1.8 million people watched it in the first weekend. Okay. Which is a lot. Well, it's more.
I would have to see that compared to other online streaming.
It's more than Falcon Winter Soldier, but less than Wonder Woman 84. Put it that way.
Okay.
Anyway, but also the same study found that in that opening weekend, which it dropped on a Thursday, so I'm sure they're counting a 4-day weekend.
Sure.
Only a third of the people actually finished it in those first 4 days.
Oh,
Most people chunked it up. When Casey and I watched it, we watched the first 2 hours, and then the next day an hour, and then that evening another hour. So people aren't consuming that 4-hour block like, I don't know, I guess that's extra views. I don't know what that matters to HBO, but so in some ways it's been a success, and other ways maybe not. But we'll wait till you watch it.
So they basically got an unsolicited mini series out of this, is the way it's being viewed.
Yeah, and when you watch it, you'll see it's even broken up with title cards into chapters, like 6 chapters. If you wanted to break after each chapter, you could. And I remember way back a year or two ago when this was all happening, they said there was going to be chapters. They said it was going to be episodes.
I was under the impression it was going to be like a mini series at first until we got this 4-hour cut nonsense.
So whatever, it was. We'll talk about it later.
Which this goes to my earlier, speaking of it back when we were talking about it for the last month or two. There is no way the studio was going to put this in a theater. Normal people at home aren't bothering to finish it.
No.
So if you tried to put that in a theater, you would have alienated a ton of people. Yes, I'm willing to sit through the Titanic and Dances with Wolves and a Snyder Cut eventually. Yeah. But the average American anymore is used to a movie between 90 minutes and 120 minutes. Once we get past that 120 minutes thing, it becomes a bit of a marathon, I think, for most average moviegoers.
I don't think if he was able to finish his movie way back when, the studio would have allowed a 4-hour movie. It just wouldn't happen. Even Lord of the Rings clocking around 3, and I think Avengers Endgame was right around 3 or so. So it wouldn't be, you wouldn't get that 4 hours.
And they made sure with the Avengers, I mean, again, they were paying off 10 years of movies and however many movies were in that thing.
Yes.
So they weren't going into it with our first big movie going, this is what we're throwing out there. This was, and they're going to stick around for this payoff.
This isn't necessarily criticism, but as statistic, over 20 minutes of the 4 hours was in slow motion. You take that out.
Is it really?
Yes. You take that out.
Holy cow.
That gets you down to 340, okay? 340. That's a little more manageable. Maybe do a few more cuts. You probably could have got a 3-hour
3-hour film out of this.
Probably so.
It's doing well. I just don't know how well. I think again, in this exact same department with HBO Max, they've made a deal with Regal Cinemas that 2022 will see a curbing of the direct to HBO on day drop, and supposedly we'll start seeing a theatrical based release again. We'll see as the information comes out whether that's strictly a Regal thing. I can't think it would be. But again, I just saw the headlines this morning, so there is talk. But 2021 HBO Max, they're getting everything from Warner Brothers day drop, and that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it, I think, a little bit and off the show now. We're getting really close to King Kong Godzilla, and this is the one I think that'll tell us. Are people going to go to the theater to see a spectacle that, for all intents and purposes, is designed to be on a big screen?
Yeah.
Kaiju belong up there on 20, 30-foot screens or however big they are. So home theaters and stuff like that are nice, but King Kong Godzilla, that deserves that spectacle. But is spectacle going to outweigh the fact that I pay a monthly subscription and don't have to pay extra for it?
We went to a movie last Sunday afternoon, and we were the only ones in the theater.
What did you see?
What did we see? We saw that Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley.
The sci-fi thing.
Yeah, we watched that.
Okay, but even in a regular experience, I don't know that was going to be a hot movie.
No, I'm just saying it was.
Is it good?
It was worth watching. It wasn't fantastic.
I like Tom Holland.
It was original. The concept was original.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I actually didn't recognize her in the previews initially. Don't do that.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming services, Disney's gonna jump up their price by $1. $1.
Which doesn't seem significant on the outset.
No.
How many subscribers?
10 million.
10 million extra dollars to do nothing extra.
Right. But they're still half the price of Netflix.
That's 100% true. But I also don't know what the content is compared to Netflix. I watch Disney Plus for basically one show at a time, and that's if I'm lucky. Whereas Netflix, I've got I pick up so many shows at a time that
Sure.
I can't keep up with them.
Right.
Including some horrible, horrible situation comedy me and my wife are watching right now.
What's it called?
Home Country or Country Home, or
But
it is a
you should stop
really,
right there.
really bad situation comedy about country shenanigans and a nanny and country singing or something like that, which
Yeah.
normally is not our bag.
Right.
But now we've kind of gotten into this thing where we like to eat with just stupid white noise in the background. And if it happens to have something, it's fine.
Right.
So we watched The Crew, which was a situation comedy about NASCAR.
I know.
And
Why you watch these shows?
And me and my wife never watched NASCAR in our event in our life, and still aren't going to.
Ugh.
And she does like country music. I am.
Sure.
I'm definitely more Donnie to her Marie, but it works for our relationship. And again, while I'm just eating and don't want to pay attention to something
Right,
that much,
right.
Netflix keeps delivering bad comedies that are great for white noise.
Speaking of theaters, like we were before we ended that nonsense,
People need to know.
Disney announced that they are pushing Black Widow to July 9th, and it is going to be day date with Disney Plus. That's the first time they've confirmed that they're going to do that.
Man, I thought if anybody, Disney had the backbone, the financial gain, everything else to do this.
I really thought,
and they gave up.
I really thought Black Widow would be the one that brings people back to theaters. Kong's gonna be great, but it doesn't have the same appeal necessarily that these Marvel properties do.
See, I think that's just I don't agree with that. I think here in America, you're right, but Asia has a much bigger audience than we do now.
Yeah.
And they're going to go see King Kong Godzilla.
Yesterday, well,
That is their Avengers. I would
yesterday
imagine.
I watched Godzilla,
Oh yeah.
Kong, Skull Island, and then the next Godzilla movie, King of Monsters.
That one
Okay.
doesn't make any sense.
Both Godzilla movies sucked.
bad.
They were bad.
They are
Okay?
bad.
Kong Skull Island was fun, at least. It was fun.
Was. And it's not great by any stretch, but the whole Vietnam thing, Hiddleston, and how they did some of it. Who's the funny guy?
That would be, of course, not Brie Larson, because although
I said the funny guy.
I know,
Yes, that guy.
you know him by his name, which is, of course, no.
H?
No.
Do you have the three names?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. His name
Isn't he
is...
Buddy Cox or something?
No, he's not.
Didn't he do the Johnny Cash thing?
Yes.
That wasn't Walk with Buddy Cox or something?
That was-
Hard Walking?
Walk the Line,
Okay.
I think.
I don't know.
Yes. No, not Thomas. John C. Riley.
So he does in fact
John
have,
C. Riley.
He does in fact have the three names.
John C. Riley.
suppose the C's
C
not a
stands for
name, but-
Suez. Move along.
Yeah, those are fun movies. The Godzilla movie, and I'm not a Godzilla fan, but that first movie's just bad.
Yeah.
And then the second movie just doesn't make any sense. I still can't get past the fact that Mom is the hey, if you haven't seen the second Godzilla movie, spoiler coming right now. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Mom's a traitor and is going in, takes her daughter to work day to kill all of her coworkers. Now, we don't get the sense in the beginning that she really hates her job in life.
Right.
She's all talking nice and knowing that all these people are about to be slaughtered. And I'm just like, that just doesn't work for me. So, and then the movie kind of sucks all the way through. It's not very good. Yeah.
See Kong Skull Island. You'll be fine for the rest of this monsterverse they're doing. But they pushed back Black Widow, and which also means they had to push back Shang-Chi, which is in September.
Shang-Chi!
That's super racist. That's still.
Is it Shang-Chi?
Yeah. That's still.
I don't think that is.
That still leaves room for the other two releases in November, December, depending on how they do. Now,
tight.
December is Sony, so they don't care Spider-Man so much. They want to make their money, but that's Sony's release. They can do what they want.
Is Spidey coming out this
December? Yeah.
This December?
Yes.
I bet that gets pushed.
We'll see.
I would be surprised.
It may.
If it did it.
It may.
I think the situation they're coming out with Black Widow is now. I think they've already done it with WandaVision, how Winter Soldier and all this is working out. Stuff is now getting pushed and backed. It's turning into the Suez Canal Avengers on how they're going to get stuff around it. And I think that's becoming a problem because as much as Black Widow should have been out and whatnot, I am much more excited about Shang-Chi than I am about that, or even Eternals. That's my jam. I really enjoy that. But then again, so was Iron Fist, and they let me down with that. So I'm really, really hoping that they're going to give us an amazing show with that.
We'll see.
You know,
Hopefully so.
At least nothing's really been spoiled on that. I mean, we got a ton of stuff out for Black Widow because it was on the verge of coming out. So we were seeing previews
Right.
and toys
Yes.
and all that stuff. With all these other movies, they've kept it really well under wraps. I've
Yes.
seen like no leaks or anything
I've
from the Shang-Chi movie.
Saw one,
And
one,
is
one.
it the Ten Rings?
Yes, Legend of the Ten Rings or
Can't wait.
something of the Ten Rings. But we saw one Lego leak of his costume. And
How'd it look?
That was it. I mean,
Did it look like him from the books, or did they?
the modern books, the red with
Yeah.
the yellow piping, not like the
Not the shirtless
Yeah,
blue
yeah,
pants or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
they were.
Not the 70s
That's
shot.
fine.
Shang-Chi.
I mean, he's updated.
Sure.
So now, would they do a flashback or something? That'd be different. Maybe he's like kids or something.
Right.
Did you pick up the first appearance? The Marvel Premiere 15, I think it was.
I've owned it a couple times, but I don't have one. I don't have one right now.
I do it. You know how I am. I buy something, I get excited about it, and then I sell it.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those books where I've had it a couple of times,
Right.
and I've always sold it. And I'm like,
Right.
man. And now, of course, it's jumped to stupid numbers. So I don't know that I'll have it again for a while, but
Yeah, it might be tough.
you never know. You know what? I'm in the business. Things pop up. So.
Did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Episode 1. Okay, let's talk about that then.
Okay.
What'd you think?
I actually really liked it quite a bit. I enjoyed the fact that they gave us a hard action intro, kind of like a Mission Impossible James Bondy kind of a thing.
Right into it.
Because then we went directly into more humanity-based stuff that we've never really seen in the Marvel Universe before,
Right.
with family struggles and things like that. Makes for good drama. It makes for good when I have to do a 6-hour television event as
Right.
opposed to a tight
Yes.
movie where I get to do all this stuff. You need that sort of thing. It grounds the Marvel Cinematic Universe in our reality to the normal person's struggles. But at the end of the day, none of it makes any sense.
Right, and it also delves a little bit into that we haven't done yet, and we haven't really had time yet, but we haven't really dealt much with the blip and people coming back and what happens and what happened to the world, what happened to not just superheroes, what happened to that guy that works across the street at the restaurant, what happened to him when he shows back up and he does have a job, doesn't have a job, his wife remarried.
Did insurance pay off for all these people? Because
Yeah.
you got to think they probably didn't,
Maybe, I don't know.
because it would have bankrupted them all. No insurance could have survived
Right.
those payouts. And I
Right.
would imagine they would have got, some of the government would have stepped in. There's a lot of stuff going on. We've actually talked about it a little bit because we took it a little more seriously
Sure.
than what they did, because we think that way. Whereas Spider-Man was the first thing we saw come back with it.
Right.
And they kind of played that one up almost for comedic events where siblings were different ages now,
Right.
even though they were what, and
Right.
people tried to use. I'm 22. It's like, yeah, but you were part of the blip, so it doesn't count.
Right.
And how's that going to affect all that stuff? So this looked at it as a much more down-to-earth, realistic style thing.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that is he wants to go get a loan. He wants to get it on his own name.
Right.
And that's fine. And they bring up that the Avengers don't get a stipend or anything, which in the comics they do. And the cinematic universe, I guess they don't. But in the other movies where they were living on that compound, it definitely made me, because Vision, Scarlet Witch, and all them were living there. It
Right.
made me think something was
Right.
up. But the problem I have is that I get that there's a pride thing and there's this and that, and you want to do something on your own. But at the end of the day, it's like, just a second, let me make a phone call. Yeah, Miss Pepper Potts, yeah. Falcon here, yeah. Can I get you to co-sign on a loan for me? Not give me the loan, not just give me the money. Literally just
Yeah.
have Stark co-sign on. Oh, she wants to talk to you. Oh, she now owns this bank. Oh, you just gave me a loan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pepper. Click.
There might be some
again,
pride, where he did.
I
They don't want to
completely
do
get
that. That's possible. It's the thing is, I mean, Stark's not around anymore, obviously, to make me think about things like that. And Pepper would probably be the one that would think about things like that. But again, it just opens up the fact that these are humans with problems.
Real problems.
Sam's not a super soldier. As much as you can say about Hawkeye, Sam is the same way. He's just a dude he has some extraordinary equipment, but he's doing what he thinks is right, trying to help out.
Equipment initially wasn't even his.
Right.
Now I'm under the impression maybe it is his or something.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Maybe Stark Tech has given him his version that he now owns, because he was tinkering on it and doing stuff like that. Winter Soldier actually gave you some great insight, comedy, and drama all rolled into one through therapy.
Right.
Which hopefully maybe that'll help some people who, and no joke here, really need some therapy.
Right.
And have always been a little against it. Maybe little things like this
Right.
might. You know what? I'll go do that.
Endgame did the same thing when Steve's sitting in a circle talking to people who have lost everybody and everything. That's one thing that's great about these shows, especially Marvel, is that they try to ground most things in reality. Now, you don't get that in, say, Guardians of the Galaxy, but you do in a lot of the other shows.
The thing
Go ahead.
I want to touch on, and it's been getting a lot of heat, is at the very end they announced the new Captain America.
Yeah.
And he looks horrible. And I don't think anybody's going to deny that he looks stupid.
If he would have just smiled, I think everything would have been fine. He didn't. He didn't smile. I know that's something you say about women, and you catch a lot of heat. But the shot that they had of him looked so much like that stupid up cartoon because he was doing a half smile without showing any teeth, and his jaw is so square that he looked like a cartoon.
See, I think it's on purpose. I think you've never seen them do a bad costume.
Right.
Everybody looks good. They do shoots. They knew that at angle. They knew everything that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's on purpose. One, he's not Captain America.
Right.
Doesn't look like Captain America.
Right.
He looks bad in the costume. Sam makes a comment early on that it doesn't feel right.
Right.
Well, not only does it not feel right, but when you look at this guy, it doesn't look right.
Right.
So I think that was all manipulation to do it on purpose to make all that happen.
Could be.
Now, that said, I want to congratulate Jack Burton and Snake Plissken on putting their boy into the Captain America outfit because I think that they made good.
He's a good actor, and so hopefully
Really
hopefully people give him a chance, but also the character. And we are probably not going to get the John Walker that is even in the comics, where he's like not necessarily
asshole.
evil, but he's
He's
corrupted
an
by power.
over the top,
Yeah.
crazy. He takes the right wing to crazy town kind
Right.
of stuff, but they did that on purpose, and they did it pretty well.
Yeah.
And so well that he's now become an active character all these years later,
Right.
even once he was shown the door. All right, so I think the easy thing to say is that's Sam's shield, but before we know for a fact, because we don't know for a fact that's Sam's shield, is that the shield he gave the Smithsonian? I think the easy answer is probably yes.
Yeah, I think it is.
But the government can very easily just make a copy. People are freaking out like, oh, they took the shield. And I'm like, well, we don't know that for a fact yet. That would be a nice little twist if you found out, you know what, we've got a couple of these laying around. Now, as I said, the easy answer is they went in and took it, but.
Yeah, when in the first Captain America movie, they said this is all we had, of the vibranium. So
But that was in 1940s.
I know, but it's not like recently, things are better with Wakanda.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a 5-year blip. Management, new hands. Things are going on for 5 years, so
Could be.
it's hard to say. They need to get those two characters together sooner than later. This one episode of humanity and down to earth and all that was good. I need to see some more. I need this. I'm not doing the slow burn with WandaVision again.
Oh.
I don't want to do it. You did it to me the last time. Let's get them into some action. Get them together. Let's get this baby rolling now. So
We'll see.
I'm looking forward to that.
Bucky's half of the story was compelling. Also, you get to see him in a much more human aspect than you had seen before. He has a friend. He has people that he talks to. He's going on a date. Those type of things. And then at the end, of course, you see the reason he has this friend is his struggle for redemption, and he killed this guy's son and is unable to tell
From what
him.
you see, for no good reason.
Yeah, who knows what the reason was? I mean, I don't know.
But good stuff all around. Very happy with it. And of course, they just keep giving us pretty good quality material. So good on them.
What do you got there?
This is a brand new book that we are carrying at Comics Cubed. It is called Pulp Reality. It's first issue. And it is a collection of short stories that harken back to the 30s, 40s, and 50s of pulp era writing. So action, adventure, over-the-top heroes, things of that nature. It is prose. So it's, good stuff. First issue, and it's $9.99, magazine kind of size. So it's just got nominated for several pulp awards.
Okay.
So check it out at Comics Cube, located at 121 East Sycamore Street.
Speaking of Comics Cube down the street, a few weeks ago, that Keanu Reeves' book called Berserker came out.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and even this week you got a new issue with the chrome cover.
Sold
but,
out.
That was one of those things they just announced. They announced that now they're doing a Netflix movie and anime series, and Keanu's involved, or if not starring in it. That was a no-brainer. If you got a Hollywood name like that, that's money in the bank as far as theater goes or Netflix
You
goes.
did jump a little bit. Keanu Reeves is the guy co-writing the comic
Yeah.
and is obviously the character in
Right.
the comic.
And he also cut his hand and put his blood in the ink.
Did he?
That made no.
I didn't see that.
That was Kiss.
They're gonna do that with me when I die. Put my ashes in some comic somewhere.
So he's involved in the comic. Who knows how much he wrote or how much input he had, but people like the story, and It's
I've had a lot of people coming back in saying that they really did actually enjoy the story.
Good.
I mean, a lot of people bought it on spectacle
Right.
of the Keanu Reeves thing, but and they printed off plenty of copies.
Sure.
So, you know, you should be able to find one. It shouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, Netflix, I think, has got another good pickup with that. Keanu's super hot. We've got, what, a new Matrix movie supposedly in the works, I want to say.
I guess.
If, you know, COVID doesn't mess that up. So, yeah. And then John Wick 4 is... I mean, it was fast-tracked at one point, but now I don't know, again, with what's going on.
I assume, you know, they're going to continue to try to make money in movies as quickly as they can with these type of properties that they know are going to get people in the butts in the seats. But
did you see the Kevin Bacon commercials for his new thing with Burt Gummer?
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get some more Trimmers money going.
just
People
doesn't-
go, oh, you know what, Trimmers? What happened to that?
He made, Michael Gross made some more, like, he made like 4 and 5 or something like that. They were direct to video, but.
It was Blood Island's number 7. So
Is it? Sorry. Okay, there you go.
7. I love it.
He just does what he can with what he has. That's what he does. Okay.
He was denied need-to-know information.
Okay.
Critical information.
A few weeks ago, in the investors meeting that Warner Brothers had, they showed some graphics that had that brought Zatanna up that think that she was going to be
Rabbit spawn.
something in the future. Well, now we just heard a couple days ago that is happening. They've got an award-winning director is going to direct it. I cannot remember her name. I apologize, but she.
This is an award that, like, you know, a school gave her or something.
It could
it's
be
a real award.
It could be.
I mean, we say award-winning anymore. I mean,
Award-winning.
every single person involved in this production has won an award of some kind.
There you go.
So
There are directors that haven't won awards. There are directors that have won awards. She's on that side of the coin.
I would have.
Can I get back to my story? So we got Zatanna. Who do you think would be a good Zatanna? I'm gonna put you on the spot. I haven't thought about it till just now. Just popped in my mind.
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek would be great. She might be a little mature, but she would be great.
She just put out some new photos. She's fine.
She looks fantastic,
Does look amazing.
and she's an excellent actress.
Holy cow.
And I would enjoy seeing her.
You know, I'm not a fan of Daisy Ridley, but she's probably the right age. She's got enough oomph that if she's willing to do it, and changing Zatanna over to an English thing so she doesn't have to worry about accents and whatnot could work.
Can you say an
Pretty well.
accent backwards though?
I mean, I don't know. But,
Instead of turtles, say Seltrut,
No.
and then say it with an accent. That's messed up.
It'll be interesting to do because this is an easy way if they want to do a horror style movie,
Right.
kind of like the New Mutants
Right.
did. They can use a superhero character to do that. They've done it with Constantine. There's even been rumors of another Keanu Reeves Constantine movie so hot.
They are working on Constantine, but it's not.
It's not Reeves?
I don't know that it's not Reeves, but it's definitely not the CW's Constantine. I really
no,
think
it's not that.
they're going to start working towards this Justice League Dark that they've been talking about for 10 years because we're Justice Leagued out now. Okay, we definitely need a break from Superman, from Batman. Even though we're going to get the Twilight Kid, we need a break from some of those characters. They are moving forward with. Aquaman 2 starts production next month, I think. Flash it has started, if not already. So we're going to get that stuff, but I think we're going to move away from the Snyderverse as it is anyway, for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of fans out there clamoring now for more, but I just don't know. One, I don't think HBO Max is putting up $200 to $250 million for a movie yet.
I don't know.
They just, it was Disney. Disney could afford it because they just upped the thing by $1. So they can be like, just up it by $1. But we're going to up it by $2 and we're going to give you a new blah, blah, blah movie.
Speaking of the DC EU, we've got 2 new castings this week. Both of them I'm pretty excited about. First off, Dame Helen Mirren is going to be in the Shazam sequel.
Who will she be playing?
I don't know the character's name, but it's an old god of some kind, or a Greek god, I assume, of some kind. And so she's an excellent actress. Not to mention, she's just as hot as Salma Hayek.
She's hot.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Come on.
She's not Salma Hayek. Hot.
Okay, well.
Nor was she back in the day when she was hot.
Well,
I mean, Salma Hayek.
I'm just telling you.
Is
give
in a
this
world,
woman her props.
Yeah, she's hot.
Okay.
In our incredibly sexist show, she's hot.
Right.
But then again, so is Keanu Reeves and
Right.
Jason Momoa.
And then in Black Adam, which is the Shazam antithesis, you've got Pierce Brosnan cast as Kent Nelson, who is, of course, Dr. Fate. Now, I'm sure we won't see, or maybe we will see Pierce Brosnan in the costume, but I doubt it. But here's the thing. Doesn't the costume come on when Nelson puts the helmet on?
Usually, yes.
Okay, so
Depending on how they do it.
here you go. You have Pierce Brosnan puts on the helmet, then everything else is CGI
Yes.
or a body actor. You don't have to have
You don't
all
need
that.
him.
Because if he takes it off, I assume his costume goes away.
It should like CGI fade.
You know, so there shouldn't be a lot of that. Anyway,
So-
as long as he doesn't run, let me tell you something about Pierce Brosnan. The thing that I hated about his James Bond is the way he runs.
How's he run?
It's weird.
Is it weird?
You look, go back
I feel
to
like how Rob Lesko says Gen Con.
I don't know how
It's
he's.
just weird and strange.
I don't know. I don't
Weird
know
and
about that.
strange.
I don't know.
I need to come on and do the show so he just
Both good actors, both going into prominent roles in a couple of DC properties.
Woohoo!
Yeah. That's it.
Still moving forward with Gen Con and Origins being only 2 weeks apart. Gamers are already one Gen Con got in a little trouble for Yom Kippur where they put Gen Con on the most significant Jewish holiday. That got them a little flack. It's getting more flack because kids will be back in school, so people have a hard time going.
Right.
Teachers won't be able to go, and things of that nature. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. I'm just not 100. And as a hardcore person who goes,
You're hardcore.
and has gone to Gen Con for like
Many
20 years now,
since
20+ years.
Milwaukee.
So I don't know that I'm going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right in the backyard. This is a trip that we would go to have a nice dinner even if we wanted to go out of town to do dinner. You and me would think nothing. Hey, you want to go to dinner? Yeah, we'll go to dinner. We'll go.
Sure.
We'll go down to Indy. We'll grab something. We'll hit a bookstore. Maybe check out something. So, Gen Con being that way, that's interesting.
We'll see. Everything's still up in the air.
Yeah, it really is. So.
We're on the other side of it, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, I think with spring break we're going to see numbers jump. All right, everybody.
kids.
Thank you for checking out GeekStorm. We greatly appreciate it. We'll catch you back here next week with more informative, entertaining things and Mike's geography lesson of the week. Don't
If it
forget to check
hadn't
it
been
out.
for those meddling kids.
Be groovy, everybody.